Good morning, children. How are you today, huh? In heaven, I have my working Dreamcast controller. Which is fucking swish. Which actually, I think now that I managed to sort of get the 3DO controller working by fidgeting with the back of it, I thought that there was maybe a bigger problem. Apparently that's a bigger issue with the 3DO controller than I was aware. Like, in order to get the D-pad working properly, you basically have to, like, and this was a known issue back when it existed, was unscrew some of the screws holding the D-pad side of the back on. And unscrewing some other screws seems to make it, like, not die. So I might be able to figure out what that is and come up with a somewhat better solution. But between that and now this little fucker working, I got the cool third-party rumble pack that has the little red light that goes. And I enjoy that. That comes in like real handy for like your Resident Evils and stuff when it starts to vibrate when like you're getting injured. Like lines up nicely. And the VMU works. Sadly, this VMU is Japanese and you can't fix that, which sucks. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind having one, because the thing about the VMU was some of the little memory things had little games in them, like the, oh god, which one is it? Power Stone. You could play like a little air shooter where you move the plane left and right and stuff, and you could earn, like, I think coins or something that you could spend. It's been a long, long, long time. It's a good, like, it's a good... The, you know, the thumbstick on the Dreamcast controller and on the Saturn 3D pad, actually, is, I don't know, yeah, it's been a problem. It might be coming in a little hot on the... It's hard to get it... No, there it is. It's hard to get it to not... to pick me up without topping out. Like, I don't want to get back to fucking arguing with it. I might just have to get it. Get a new fucking setup, but I don't want to. But the, you know, it has like this big, you know, fat thumbstick, which it's a little bit easier to use for that kind of fine grain, you know, driving and flying and stuff like that. I really noticed it with the Saturn 3D pad, actually, which is even bigger. Yeah, I am still surprised Nintendo didn't, like, you know, the Switch 2 didn't come with, you know, a dock that has some kind of GPU in it or some gear in it, you know. Because I do like the idea of you play at home and then you can take it and play it somewhere else. And that was pretty much the, you know, this was one of the earliest expressions. It doesn't have a backlight. It's like old Game Boy. Yeah, so if your thing's working properly, you get like this little QR code and a thing telling you, you know, what fucking controller A. But yeah, there are two like modern VMUs. This is the VMU Pro and VM2. I might get one of those, but I think using the actual VMU as the save file means you can't use save states, which is sort of annoying. So, I don't know. I'll see how I go. But yeah, so today we're going to play... What is it? Fucking... Seven Mansions Ghastly Smile, which is a horror game. I got translated a little while back, but I sort of only downloaded, got it running, and then immediately got distracted and wandered off. There we are. So many of these games that I don't understand outside of odd little memes I see on the internet. Oh, there's a version of Columns. Alright. Enough shenanigans. I wonder if there's a manual for this. I wonder if I need a manual. The cover art down there looks like... Yeah, that looks like one of those Japan-only racing games. That's also a visual novel drama for some reason. I mean, looks like Teens in a House or something. Can't argue with that. Especially if the house is evil. Yeah, I read the thing about Kowloon's Gate. Really interesting reading about how it, like the hassle of getting it to fucking, like hacking it was just a nightmare. I always love it when a fucking, you know, game is just fucking rigged together with the, you know, most absurd bullshit. It's like I love reading the Dolphin reports about Factor 5 games. Because it's always just, they manage to use, like, part of the fucking sound buffer or some shit as extra RAM, and there's just no normal way we can deal with that. Like, there's a series of Dreamcast RPGs that I'm really looking forward to being translated, and I think there's actually some work being done in that. Can't remember the name of it, though. I think it's by Capcom. Actually. I mean, it definitely looks like weird Japanese horror. Yep. I'm enjoying this so far. Well, there's that RPG, like, Racing Lagoon for the PS1. It's like a full-tilt RPG built around racing, which I think is probably a good idea. This feels like a soap. I mean, look, as someone who grew up with these consoles, I will tell you, like, the reason I have a controller collection is because that's the point of contact. You know, that's the important part. I don't think you need an actual console. And I thoroughly despise the aftermarket, and I hate how the investment chuds have gotten into it, and how stuff costs $1 bajillion for no fucking reason. Yeah, I just got a message from Amber today. Amber's been in and out of hospital a bit. She hasn't been talking about it much, but just like, you know, nerve pinching leading to migraines, leading to hospitalization, that they're working on getting, you know, hopefully fixed, and, you know, that, and still trying to get, like, okay, display vitality, auto follow, partner type. Well, I do enjoy an active partner. I'm guessing there's some kind of, like, split screen thing, maybe if you're not, like, together. So. It adds so much. You know, like, you you don't miss it until it's gone, and then it's like, oh man, this sucks. You know, I think I'll do the training. Because I don't know what this is about, and I'm suspicious if there's a training section for a fucking, you know, horror game, like what that could be. Alright. Why are you dressed like you want to be camouflaged in a pool? Huh, that's interesting. Alright, so fully controllable crosshair. Please defeat all the monsters in the room with your gun. You cannot enter other rooms. Okay. God, it would help to know the controls. Alright, well, there's one. Bit jerky. Oh, fuck me. Hey, hey. Piss off. Okay, X recenters. Penis shoot! Okay, you kinda just gotta shoot at the thing. You don't have to really fret too much about, like, whether... Ah, I just shot between his legs. I do have to fret. That's bullshit. Wait a minute. God damn it. Okay, it has to say nice. Okay, I think if I let go and then push L, I just like kind of retarget. Yeah, reload please. Alright, I have to wait till he's through having his tantrum before I can shoot him again, which I don't think's fair. Hey. Hurry, hurry. Hey, what are you about? Ah, there was two of you. That's annoying. What are you? He's made of gun. Princess Crown translation's been done for a while, yeah. Okay, what is... Oh, alright, okay, that's data. Okay, so I think that kind of gave me some of the basics. Not what I'd call... Alright. I'm not doing that again. Like, I don't... I'm always a little fucking... annoyed when they give enemies like a little bit of invincibility time, you know? Like, did it need that? Like, I don't think it's a light gun game. Like, I know there have been, like, the fad of not light gun games with light gun sections was kind of gone at this point. And by that, I'm not talking about, like, you know, Resident Evil Survivor or shit like that. I'm talking about, like, you know, oh god, come on, brain. Fucking Space Police. What's the name of the Space Police game that Kojima made for the Saturn? I think it is something stupid like Space Police too. It's like, oh god, I can see the fucking whatever. That game has like light gun sections. Like the action sections involve the light gun, same as Snatcher. It doesn't really, like, you don't really need to use it. Like, you can't just use the controller, and particularly with Snatcher, Police Noughts, that's it. I was close. A thinking type game. Okay. Why is he wearing camo for a pool? I mean, when they say thinking type game, what do they mean by that? Ah, fuck it. I want to be thinking type. Because, I'm not gonna lie, that combat type didn't exactly wow me, though. You know. Police Noughts. Police Noughts. Yeah, like that Kowloon City game. Ah! Doesn't have, like trying to get, like, subtitles into it and shit was, like, just a fucking nightmare. It's the island from Ernest Buys an Island. Ernest McPherson. That's a pre-Google white person name. He does have a sheenish look to him. I need a second. Is it not New Russell? The PS1 Time Crisis game isn't bad. It's its own little unique side thing. I've got it on the cabinet outside and in here. My favorite thing about, like, the way Japan, like, not translates, but that just, it's not even transliteration, that's probably closer to transliteration, is just to take whatever it is in English and chuck a couple of vowels in there. Which is kind of like something, you know, it's like a slight, it's, you know, if it were any other situation, it'd be like, that sounds like a racist impression. And it isn't, that's just what they do. I think it's a side effect of, like, they tend to write stuff in English using the phonetic characters. This whole thing in my head is just a quest to find Jim Varney Ernest now. Where'd he go? Alright. Just gonna... Oh yeah, no. It's just, it's funny. Who are you? Is this Ernest? Yes, all forest doctors look like this. Here on New Russell Island. Because I'm pretty sure they wrote, like, when I was in Japanese hospital, they transliterated my name. You know, again, just using, like, okay, here's the sounds we've got to play with. Into, like, I think Gabaru, if memory serves. Which I love to death.
この島で浄化しているメタウォーターです。下界の汚染された水とは違う。
That's the accurate response to someone telling you what you just drank is not normal water.
いいもん見た。私も行かなきゃ。
This is a peculiar video game. Alright, yeah. The save state thing was grayed out when I had it set to use the actual VMU. And I'm pretty sure that's like... That's not surprising. Because you can get some weird shit if your save states and your fucking snapshots of the memory card don't line up. Emulation's been really helpful since fucking forever. It's the only way this stuff stays working, and that includes, like, you know, fucking official cunts. What do you think that you know, none of these consoles have, like, a fucking PS1 chip in them or whatever. They're emulating it. That's how it fucking works. And lots of them have lent into fucking either emulators that, you know, like this that were made by, you know, fans, or understandings of how to emulate these games that were produced by emulators that were made by fucking fans. Alright. So we're... Okay. So we went... Can a twink be tall? I always saw him as smaller. Then I suppose my understanding of... Okay. Well, that ain't great. Hey, health. Okay, so Eleanor don't do anything yet. Why is this, which is nice. I have no bullets. No equipment. Okay. Who ate all the jam? I wonder if I can look at that. Ooh. Smashing A on the first part. A notice for new employees. You need an ID card to open the gate, lock in the corridor. If that does not work, contact the security room and they will open it for you. That, like... Okay, so we have tank controls. That's fine to be expected. Okay, I like that I can just sort of interact with a lot of stuff, because I find kind of the death for a lot of these games is like, I'm not allowed to, like, look at things, and I want to look at shit. Jean. I'm not even sure how I got here. Like, she's just like, okay, they're there for, you know, somewhat strange reasons. Alright, that I can cope with. She meets cute forest doctor who gives him special water and then leaves, and then she runs through the forest and finds this place.
Why did you come here? It's too dangerous. Please, hurry and escape. If not, you will become like the guy before you.
What? They tried to clone Scott Steiner. Okay. I don't think I have a gun or anything yet. Loose gimps! Yeah, this poor girl does not seem equipped to deal with this. Why have you got nebulizer masks on? How do you know where he is? Okay. I have 80 health and nothing. Move past it, please. Move past it. Ouch. Oh, piss. Okay. Oh, not going that way. Oh, fuck, Jesus. Am I supposed to, like, what am I doing here? Okay, so that guy's in the... I gotta go in here, maybe. The fucking Barky art style is... Like, I know it's a thing, but, like, it's just... Every time I see it, it hits me new, you know? Because it's both, like, very technically competent and the worst drawings of human bodies I've ever seen in my life. Well, strange machines. What's in here? That's, you know, there's character to this, and I like it. And I like that I'm able to, like, look at shit. You know, one of my pet peeves about all these things is, like, you know, you're just running around a world and there's nothing you can do, you know, and you can fucking zest that up a little by letting me fucking see some shit. Vegetables. Alright, let's see. Okay, so L is like strafe. That's interesting. Okay. It's a copy machine for souls. Okay, and X changes the camera. That's interesting. So we've got shoulder, first person mode. That's pretty swish. And fixed camera mode. I got something for you. Bzzzt. Shut up. What's that? Okay, do I have to use... Okay. Ah! God damn it. Suck shit, dick biscuit. Was that the door that was... Was it this one? Fucking Jesus. Oh, that's where I came in. Okay. So, the options are upstairs, but she said like there was a scream came from here. Okay, I can't tase it. Yeah, sure, I'll record some injury sounds for you. Alright. That is exactly how a poor girl just not cut out for this bullshit would hold a fucking taser too. Just... Okay, I think that gimp's got a lanyard, which... Okay, I still can't... there we go. This makes combat easier. Ow! Hole! I mean, at least credit where it's due, at least with these guys, that fucking taser rules. Now he's just goo. Was I supposed to get something off him? Oh. Nope. Oh. Do not talk about Miss Tatjana in front of Chief Schneider. That's a weird thing to have up as a rule, because, like, if you have that as a rule about me, I'm gonna read that and see that, and I'll be upset about it. Okay. I wonder if there's a quick turn of any description. Doesn't look like it. Strafe. Yeah, apparently the Ring Survival Horror, like, I have that too. Apparently it's not very good. Which is a shame. Alright. Hell no. I'm pushing all the buttons. Fuck you. I won't push buttons. Like, I feel like that fucking gimp was supposed to drop something for me, you know? Like, that's the vibe I got from that. And, like, I don't know, he didn't try to talk to me, and... Okay, when you say the manual, do you mean the game manual? I feel like there might be something that I'm missing there. I mean, it's not, I don't think I was allowed to talk to him, you know? And now he's just goo on the ground, so I'm not sure, like... Just see if I can get to this. Right. So far, so good. Now... Okay. I feel like the ones that look like little X's might be doors I can't go in. I'm not... Okay, there's the elevator. That looks interesting. Where's that? No more Morris. I've heard of the Tekken 8 thing. I haven't bothered watching it or anything because I don't really play Tekken or care. And even then, apparently, this Tekken is not a great Tekken. The Virtua Fighter 6 footage did look interesting, though. It's done something that I've hoped to see for a little while, of like kind of going for a little more of a realistic look, which I've been hoping to see for a little while. One of the things Tekken 8 did do, which I really enjoyed, was you know, the game knows from the moment you push the button whether or not, like, you know, a hit's gonna hit. And so it'll do that really cool slowdown thing to show you moves like maybe just hit or maybe you whiff, and, you know, I like that. And that's, you know, it's that kind of, like, in-game presentation stuff that you can do to really kind of zhuzh it up a bit. Yeah. Ah, the computer room. Back when you have to use to fucking put them in rooms and shit. Okay. Thanks, Morris. How's that computer what beat Gary Kasparov? There's got to be a save point, right? Ah. Well, that fucking... The Gen AI shit's hideously expensive. It's on its way to collapsing. Like, that's... Horror or not, that's just good life advice. Alright, so that'll be for downstairs. Ernest needs a kidney. Suppose you don't really need, like, a poker face when, you know... Does this thing have bullets? Nope. Your opponent's like a computer. Yeah, you can really just pull all the faces you want. Yeah, like, I don't... Yeah, what do we got? Okay, that's for the library. I mean, you couldn't do Gen AI versus a person in chess. It would just not know what the fucking pieces are. It would start playing checkers midway through. Alright. Guess I gotta go back downstairs. Oh yeah, I suppose I unlocked the... Let's take the elevator. Ooh, it rumbles when you take the elevator. That's the only reason, like, you know, the thing is, language model technology has a utility, but it's small and specific. It's just, you know, morons jumped onto it and thought that they'd be able to delete employees, and well, look where that's got them. And then the second you're on the hook for billions of dollars, it kind of becomes the pressing issue. Okay. Actinase. Ask your doctor if Actinase is right for you. Do you wake up in the morning? Well, it's a little bit like fucking, you know, the metaverse. Is regardless of what the technology is capable of, there's just an upper limit to how people might want to use something, you know? Like, I don't want to look at the internet or talk to people by putting on a VR headset. That's annoying. It doesn't matter how good it is. That's still annoying. You know? The means by which people use it are the means by which people have been using it for a while. To learn the fundamentals of genes for modification and improvement, and not to create a bunch of weird space gimps. Alright.
よくここが分かったね。
あなたのことはすべてお見通し。
松井、本当かよ。
So you're searching for Ernest? My name is Morris. Don't worry, I'm on your side. Sadly,
Cyber Morris!
I don't know where Ernest is. Schneider should know. But be careful. Schneider is a terrifying man. If he catches you, he'll use you for human experiments.
Rob Schneider will capture you and use you for human experiments. I'm not thrilled at the idea of having, you know, a non-player controlled partner. That's... Okay, I already did that, but like, you still haven't told me what Actinase is. Help me! I love that, like, Rob Schneider's getting jacked now, because this is going to be so fucking funny. Okay, so Actinase Okay, so I can create something. Where was that plant room? I can't even remember where that was now. Alright, what's that? Creature report! Oh, I gotta love that. I don't know what a CR no value is. I wonder if, like... Okay... Huh. Interesting. I wonder if there's a way to, like... swap. I mean, maybe not. Are there any moon gimps out here? Of the Resident Evil clones... Like... What? Look, I don't care if it's gimped out, if it's gimped out in my favor. You know? Liquid nitrogen is not what I think's written on the side, though. Okay. Is that what's on the ground there? Okay. Oh, whatever. Yeah, like, the oxygen mechanic doesn't really factor in incredibly well, but at least, I mean, you know, like, having played a lot of, like, Resident Evil and Resident Evil clones, you'd be surprised how many fuck up just basic things. You know? Like, just make the fucking bullets hit shit, you know? Like, if you copy the very basic elements of Resident Evil gameplay, which shouldn't be hard, you know, I'm not talking about, like, fucking the modern ones, like, tank controls, like, raise the gun, fire a couple of times. That shouldn't be a fucking challenge. If you get that stuff to feel okay, the rest of it you can kind of phone in, you know, and I'll still play it. New book alert. New book alert. Blue Stinger's not awful. It's a bit jank. I'd say Carrier is probably a better knockoff than Blue Stinger. It's weird that a bunch of the Sega knockoffs were all, like, ocean-based. Because I played all the way through Deep Fear. I played through that a little while back. It has got some voice acting moments, though, I will tell you that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, like... I'm looking forward to Kreger's zombie movie. I just, you know, I don't know what about it is supposed to be fucking... You know, Resident Evil. Like, that's kind of my issue. Like, there's legitimately nothing in that trailer said Resident Evil. which is nothing at all. Okay, so it's just like, you gotta get out of here. So, alright. Okay. See, I like that. That's nice. You know, can't get out. I go to the fucking, you know, map, and it gives me, like, a pointer. That's a good, because that's something a human being might think in that situation, and that's a good way of, like, communicating to the player in a way that's, like, organic, and not just, like, go here. Martian Gothic is close to being quite good, but the map is like an insult to ever knowing where you're going. And that really hurts it for just no good reason. I love you, Taser Princess. Dino Crisis, yeah, well, the Dino Crisis is just Capcom again. The thing I have with Dino Crisis is just, there are some attempts at making the gameplay different, and they all kind of blow. And I don't find dinosaurs scary, you know? I mean, like, yeah, if a Velociraptor walked into the room, I'd be concerned. But I'd be concerned if, like, a tiger did. You know, I'd be concerned if a fucking cassowary did. Like, anything kind of big is like, alright, that I gotta worry about. You know, they're not in the same category as zombie. Like, by a fucking long shot. And I genuinely refuse to believe anybody who says otherwise. Like, you're just full of shit. I'm more scared of dinosaurs than zombies. You're a liar. Okay, well, where's the body storage room? I mean, I'm okay with Silent Hill being like, you know, whatever the fuck, why am I forgetting words? Oh, I almost had it. And then it snuck away. Anthology. Because, I mean, 2 isn't, you know. 2 has nothing to do with the main fucking plot. It's so funny that, like, there's 1, and then just, pew, off to nowhere, and then back again for 3. Okay, where's body storage? Oh, okay, so it says, it's like a hole down there. I probably haven't been in this one. Ah! Bet they're storing bodies in here. Honestly, Dino Crisis within the fucking re-engine, that would probably be fucking rad. Like, when you can actually aim and the dinosaurs can move like dinosaurs and not, you know, clumsy and embarrassing. Like, that is definitely one that needs a fucking run through the fucking re-engine. Okay. Where did you even come from? Ow, hole. Where'd that thing come from? I think that's kind of like that's a problem the game has for me currently. Like, that's just, stuff just happens. quite like 3. I think 4 has lots of tremendous ideas, and it's another one of those ones that if they remade it with, like, you know, whatever Bluebird doing, it would be fucking great. But, like, you know, it's just, it can be cumbersome to fucking play. Okay, so I've got DNA. I have to go to some... There's like a room where we look at DNA. I mean, it's telling me to go in here, but I fucking, you know... Yeah, why are you talking shit, map? It's not helpful. I mean, the core issue with the Resident Evil 3 remake, was a design flaw. Was it in here? I'm pretty sure it was in here. So something over here, wasn't it? There we go. Do I have to do this with my brain, or can she do it? I do, yeah, no, the DMX mod for fucking Resident Evil 2 is fantastic. Okay, so stop it. I can electrocute my fucking own guy? That's a problem. Fucking... Alright, let me zap him. I mean, look, like, better is a broad fucking, you know... In what sense? You know, the comparison points of a lot of these things are a lot harder than I think the fact that they share the same name would lend itself to. Oh yeah, like the biggest problem that the Resident Evil 3 remake has is it's just short. Like, they cut chunks out of the remake that they didn't then replace with other stuff. And the other remakes have been streamlined, but in ways that don't, like, make the game feel anemic. You know, there's just, like, there are just chunks where it's like, I feel like there should have been another fucking bit in here, like, why? Because, I mean, like, you know, the GameCube remake of 1 is better than Resident Evil 1 on the PS1. You know. Again, it's that issue of it's not to... You gotta understand the difference between assessing something, you know, on its technical merit and assessing something on its historical value are two separate fucking things. Like, I'm not gonna play fucking GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64 today. It sucks. You know, that's an experience for 1998. But... its experience in 1998 was fucking amazing. You know? Even when you're playing 4-player at, like, several frames a second. Several! Like, it really... Because, I mean, Resident Evil 3 feels short. There's just no real good way to do Nemesis. You know? Because they kind of already blew that wad with Mr. X in 2. You know, it's like, what's happening? Mr. X is like basically Nemesis. He's just around, and you have to deal with that. And again, you know, the historical value of fucking, you know, GoldenEye and the Nintendo 64 is fucking stellar. I mean, if you could, like, you know, a decomp that tweaks it and, like, you know, makes it so it doesn't drop to, like, fucking 10 frames per second when you play on 4-player or something, yeah, be fun again. Like, there are a few... The Xbox One, you can... is fun to play. Well, good gameplay is, again, like, good gameplay is a matter of what the goal is. Goals are measurements. Measurements create, you know, a goal is an object, that's where you get objectivity. If you create a goal, then that's a measurement. We can make that measurement. We can measure your stated goal versus what you accomplished and the tools you use to accomplish that goal. You know, don't blur assessment into some meaningless miasma of fucking opinion, because that's not what it is. If you say you're going to make a game that's scary and it comes off really funny because you designed the monster wrong, you failed. You made a great comedy, but if that wasn't your goal, you failed. If you tell me you're going to hit the broadside of a barn and you accidentally hit the fucking bullseye of a target on the other side, you failed. I mean, again, like, better is a massively broad statement that, like, you know, again, most people don't think. Most people don't even know what, you know, critique actually fucking means. Drives me fucking bonkers. I don't know. I've got Scandalwegian DNA, so mine just grows like this. I mean, you know, if you asked me which one I'd rather play, yeah, I'd rather play. Again, like, the problem with Remake isn't anything, you know, to do with the gameplay, because the gameplay is just that re-engine, you know. I mean, there are things I'd add to it to, like, you know, I still think Capcom kind of struggles with what to do with a zombie and with what to do with, like, the kind of Resident Evil survival horror style approach to things whilst letting me actually aim a fucking gun. Like, they, you know, and I've said before what the solution to that is, or at least one solution to that, but, like, they kind of got there with, like, I do really like Nine's approach to the zombies being a little more Return of the Living Dead style. I think that's a very good idea, and they should stick with it, because it allows for a lot of stuff to happen with an internal explanation, and it creates, you know, interesting puzzle opportunities, like the whole light switch guy, you know, like that's something you can't do with the fucking standard Resident Evil zombies. You can also have zombies just patrol certain areas without it feeling like an imposition of the game, you know, like there's a reason the butcher's just wandering around the kitchen. No, again, subjective is taste. So you may like, you know, I like a lot of, you know, old fucking fighting games that aren't well designed. You know, like in any technical assessment, like they're not competitive. You wouldn't be able to really, you know, same as like old wrestling games. Like I frequently play like, you know, ECW Anarchy Rules for the Dreamcast, which is an objectively terrible wrestling game. I frequently play fucking Showdown Legends of Wrestling for the PS2, which is another objectively terrible wrestling game. But there are, like, elements of them that, you know, I uniquely enjoy for just perverse reasons. Taste and assessment are separate fucking things. If you tell me you're going to make something that does something, that you've created a goal, you've created something we can measure. You know, so you read the fucking Simpsons articles, it comes up a lot in there. Read fucking critical art. That's I explain that quite neatly. Well, also, a game is a complex fucking system. You know, something might have, like, one good thing about it, and it can be useful to learn, like, that one good thing is, because it helps you learn the machine a bit better. It helps you take it apart. You know, helps you learn, okay, like, what went wrong in the construction of this. Like, Showdown has some ideas that are good, it's just none of the execution's good. Weirdly, the Acclaim wrestling games, particularly that initial engine that went from WWF Raw to the ECW titles, they just get worse with each iteration. Like, it's such a fascinating thing to watch. Like, WWE Raw, or WWF Raw, not Raw. No, yeah, it was Raw. For, the PS1 and Nintendo 64. I don't think the first one was on Dreamcast. Has more, like, has better organized and more complex gameplay than any of its sequels. Every time they released a sequel, they took something useful out. It's just baffling. Like, that it doesn't streamline the game. It doesn't do anything, you know, interesting. It just makes it so you can do less things. It just limits the fucking game. It just makes it unpleasant to play. Well, yeah, but people don't understand the difference between subjective and objective. You know, half of these people. Again, half of these people don't know what critique actually means. I say more than half, really. You know, again, like, there are things that I don't like, but I can assess because they're separate. The work tells you what it's going to do. It uses techniques to accomplish that. Internal to the work is the success or failure. Something can succeed at doing something you hate. Doesn't mean it was a failure. And the problem is people like just got into the habit of saying, well, it's all just opinion, as a way of like just getting around having to, you know, defend or back up anything they say, because they don't know how to. You know, they wind up just saying shit that just doesn't make sense, blundering occasionally into some accurate fucking position, but not being able to meaningfully argue it. Grappler. That's before you even get into the fucking, you know, people who seem to be barely whole human beings. Go fucking read. Well, again, an opinion is a category of thought. It's not, that is by definition unverifiable. You know, it's taste. The opinion lives in you. Assessment is external. You know, assessment lives within the work. Yeah, it's very simple. You just, you know, again, like people get narky about this when they fucking don't understand any of it and can't argue the point, or don't understand, like, you know, that you can like stuff that's just bad. It's fine, you know. Provided you're not using the things you fucking play or watch as replacements for a personality, it's fucking fine. Go read Critical Art. I wrote that in like 2017. It's like fucking nearly 10 years old now. Site's working again apparently, which is nice. You know, there's plenty of stuff that I don't like, but, like, it's still technically good. I mean, I tend not to bother engaging in it, because why? It's It's also why you'll see a lot more popular stuff is just about being negative, because people struggle to explain why they like something. You know, that's always a good test for anything like this, is can you really fucking nut out why something is good? Why do you enjoy that? Because people generally don't want to do that. Well, people can be. Otherwise, there's no fucking point to any of this. You know? Anything is simply learning. And outside of, like, actual miserable learning disorders, you know, you can put this shit together. It's not a hard principle to grasp. Like, this is not, you know, it's not a formula. This doesn't require fucking learning a whole new fucking language. I mean, maybe just, like, again, like, the shit you watch and shit is not your personality. It's kind of an important fucking detail. Alright. We have some more wrestling stuff. Let's do Wrestling Wednesday again. So these are some little, one of them's a bit of a surprise, actually. So, as a bit of a side quest, Randy uploaded a, redux of WCW Revenge that does something that I've always wanted to see, which is put the actual fucking theme songs for wrestlers in it. Which means a game mostly full of, like, that one NWO song in Wolfpack, but, well, WCW. There was also another WCW game that came out, like, romhack, that came out, like, pretty much at the same time. Hopefully, because apparently the guy that made the WCW Starcade, which is very good, it, basically redoes Revenge, adds a bunch of moves, so Hogan actually has a running leg drop, you know, redoes a bunch of the sprites, shifts a few, stables around, adds characters. Like, it's really, really, really fucking good. He's planning on adding the entrance theme thing to it as well, though. And then it'll be basically perfect. Nah, they're never putting Benoit and shit. I really need people who think like that might happen to remember that he strangled a child to death with a Bowflex. You know? Like, let's get Jake the Snake Roberts' dad in a game while we're at it. Oh, yeah, no, it's Crowshaw's fault. Well, I mean, Crowshaw based his whole thing on, like, what's his name? Charlie Brooker. And again, you know, that came up in the fucking drownouts. It was like, you didn't know what fucking critique meant. But thought it was saying something negative about something, and it isn't. It's not that. It's judgment. You can critique something and say nothing. You can be glowingly fucking, you know, praise the fucking thing. Alright. So we've got some Wednesday wrestling, Friday more fucking Resident Evil 5, which is a fucking drag. But we'll get through it. Yeah, there's Buck Zumhoff, who I have to describe as, like, a person who molested his daughter to a degree I can only describe as professional. Now, this is one of those things where, like, you know, people bring up Vince, and as bad as Vince is, and he is bad, probably doesn't even crack the top 10. Like, if you want to get into the weeds, probably doesn't crack the top 10. You don't want to get into the fucking weeds on that shit. Just fucking grim. Well, enough about that. I'll see you all on Wednesday. And until then, entertain yourselves.